Welcome to the Leadership Purpose with Robin podcast. I'm your host, Robin L. Owens, PhD, and this is where we dive in each week to give advice, tools, and tips for high-achieving women leaders, and we talk about leadership purpose and its importance for you. I am a college professor, and when I am not doing that, I am speaking, writing, coaching, mentoring, and teaching high-achieving women leaders how to find, and not only find, but how to stay in alignment with their leadership purpose so they can make a meaningful difference right there in their career, leadership, or business. Okay, let's dive in. Hi, everybody. It is Dr. Robin, and today I am here with Priscilla Stephan. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Priscilla. She's an intuitive business strategist and creator of the Soulfluent Leadership Archetypes. And she helps women leaders who have hit their upper limit in their business step into their next level of leadership. And she helps them create more impact and profits with grace, joy, and ease by embracing their natural leadership style. That sounds wonderful. Welcome, Priscilla.
Thank you, Robin. What a lovely, soothing voice. And hi, everyone who's listening today. It's such an honor to be here.
And we're glad you're here. Now, I just mentioned just a little bit about who you are and what you do, but why don't you tell us more about really, from your own words, who you are and a bit about the work you do?
Sure. I would say that I truly believe that when all of us not only understand, embrace, and use our true magical gifts in our work, we get to make the world a better place. I happen to love working with women entrepreneurs in particular because it's so challenging and fascinating what we get to build out of nothing. And so I like to help women really embrace their own innate gifts and integrate them into their businesses so that they can live their purpose through their business and make the world a better place in that way. The Soulfluent Leadership Archetypes came through me, channeled in 2016. And it does help you understand who you are as a leader innately from that deep alignment, integrity, structural integrity of who are you at the purest level, what talents and gifts you have, and what is your natural leadership style. I was telling, when I was pitching myself to another podcast, I said, the Soulfluent Leadership Archetypes are like the love languages of your soul's leadership. It's like how you understand your soul's leadership language. We each have a language, and then becoming more fluent in that energy, that way of being, and then integrating that information into how you run your business, your message, your business model, branding, content, marketing, creates that sense of structural integrity in the business, deep alignment between you and what you are creating in your vision. And then there is that sense of flow and ease and that depth and breadth of expression, of authenticity that I think we crave to be or afraid to be in the world. But I think that we all long for, right? To see the person, the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, to see more and more, who are you as a person? What do you believe? What do you care about? I always say that our heart is at the core of the caring. Our caring is at the heart of our leadership, right? So what do you care about? What do you believe? Where's the humanity in you as a person that then informs and ignites that vision that you want to put into the world?
Yes, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And do you know, I'm sure you do, your own archetype?
I do. So there are 5 Soulfluent leadership archetypes. There's the mystic. I am clearly the mystic. Innate gifts are intuitive, creative, and healing. There's the visionary, who is the disruptor, out of the box thinker, innovator, Elon Musk's of the world, like people who are clearly here to disrupt the status quo. Then there are the strategists, who are the people that really work in the gritty minutia of data, like scientists, lawyers, finance, technology. They really streamline processes and systems that are innovative and creative and make the world a better place. I have a strategist husband, which helped me understand the strategist because I'm so not that. Then there's the explorer, who's a catalyst, a dreamer, an adventurer. They really are connectors and bring people together, and dreamers, and help people ignite their dreams. I always think of like Richard Branson as an example of an explorer. They're big visionary ideas. They live and lead experientially. They learn by doing it. Whereas, some people have analysis paralysis, the explorer is like, okay, I'm just going to throw myself into the water and then I'll figure out how to swim. I'll find a raft. I'll ask for help, but I'm going to learn by doing. And then there's the divine feminine, which is about collaboration and community. Their message and their business model is abound. We rise together. We come together as a community. Community leads, informs, and it's how they run their business. In LA, there's the South LA Cafe, and they're all about community. They have a cafe, but they also give groceries to the community, like $35 bags of groceries for people in need. It's all about, we're here for you as a community. We're in it together. They're actually featured in the Soulfluent Leadership Business Guide. And so it's mystic, visionary, strategist, explorer, and divine feminine. We have all of these in us, but there's always a primary one that leads the way. Sometimes that archetype shifts as we change our business and grow and evolve, one that wants to kind of shifting gears, right? If you're driving in the city, it's one thing. If you're driving on the highway, it's a different experience, right? So I'm a mystic archetype, which means that in my business, I need to lead with my intuitive healing and creative abilities, right? And so as a channeler, a messenger, reader of the Akashic records, downloader of dense material, I lead with the channeling aspect to my work, as well as holding space for others to find their own answers, right? That's how I build my offers. That's how I stay in my genius zone. And so definitely I'm a mystic.
Yeah. And it's clear to me that you are a mystic, and the mystics of the world are important and necessary. So it makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm glad to hear that. Now, tell us about, I could imagine this just from our conversations, but for everybody who's listening, tell us what you enjoy most about your work and why.
I'm fascinated by what comes out of my mouth every time, to be honest. And I am also in awe of the commitment, devotion, passion, and just sheer audacity and courage that I see come out of every entrepreneur that I meet, whether I work with them or not. But it's just that sense of, yeah, we can do this. We're going to do it. This has to happen. The world needs this, like that's such great gumption. And of course that comes in many categories and industries, but I love entrepreneurs. I think we're such badasses. We're dreamers, crazy people, but we need the crazy people, right? And so I think being able to channel information for them, in my case, channeling an entire body of work, it's just terrifying and inspiring to see, wow, like what does this want to create in the world? How can it help people and their businesses? And how can they understand themselves better? So they're not fighting against themselves all the time or resisting parts of themselves or hiding and so I would say that it's a combination of those.
Yes, that's wonderful. Now, this podcast, we talk to your work primarily is for entrepreneurs, but we talk to leaders of all types, including entrepreneurs, and however people describe leadership. And so, but think of in your mind about high achieving women. And by high achieving women, I mean women who are goal oriented and achievement oriented in that way. So now, based on your experience and expertise, what advice or helpful hint would you give to a high achieving woman listening to us right now?
A few things. First one is a reminder that life is short. Live your dream. Second one is simplify, and then simplify more, because I think we tend to overcomplicate, spin too many plates. I always ask, what is the simplest way to do this? That's my first question. What is the simplest way to go about this? Sometimes it's not the best way or the most effective. Sometimes it might require a few more parts, but I start with the simple because sometimes that's more than enough. Right? So, and then the other part is, where can you have more fun with your life and enjoy your life in the moment? We were talking before this that we can have such big visions or aspirations, whether it be for ourselves, our work, our families, the world. And it can feel like, God, that there's a sense of urgency and there's so much, I don't know how I can handle it. But yet, where can we truly be so at peace and so fully in this moment that We don't need to feel that desperation or need to strive for something, but we can feel like everything is here in this moment and we are truly present. I think that presence is a truly underlived experience
Yeah.
that can actually give us the fullness of life and access to the future while still embracing the now.
Yeah. And in a society, and I would venture to say world, but particular our US society, the
Yeah.
focus is on being busy, and productivity means busy and constantly doing, doing, doing. And so you're talking about being in the present moment is interesting because one of the episodes earlier, one of the other guests talked about this idea of being and the importance of that. And so this notion of being present. And what was the question you asked? Are you having fun? What was the way you asked it?
Yeah. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying your life? Are you enjoying today? Are you enjoying this moment? And more importantly, are you enjoying how you are going about creating what you want to create? Because you can actually enjoy the process.
Okay. Say that again. I want everybody to hear that question again. Go ahead. Ask it again.
Are you enjoying how you are doing what you're doing?
I
What you're creating? Because we're like, oh, sometimes we think we need to suffer through it, push through it, claw our way through it, just grind or hustle through it. And I'll get like, as you know, I'm finishing up my book. There's a kind of a tedious notion and I have to do it. It's not my joy moment. But then how can I make this not so fun experience more enjoyable? I'm going to sit on my comfy chair. I'm going to have my happy little drink. I'm going to have a little light jazz going on in the background. We're going to make it a thing. So pleasure is infused in it so that the work does not take from me. It is, at least we're pretty much even give and take.
Yes, I love that. I love that because part of my own work is to be intentional and try to enjoy the things I do. So that's a wonderful gift that you gave us, a way to frame that and include enjoyment, even in the processes of work. Okay. All right. So now, as you know, the name of this podcast is Leadership Purpose, right? And so my work is around leadership purpose. And when you hear that term, leadership purpose, what comes to your mind?
Direction, focus, clarity of direction. Leadership in this case, in my body of work, leadership is defined as contribution. So everyone's a leader because we all contribute. But when I think of leadership, I think of knowing oneself. And when I think of purpose, I think of clarity of direction. So do you know yourself as you are carving your focused path of contribution, and are you willing to do it your way?
Yes. Yes. I love that. But of course I would.
Well, I'm glad.
I would. So do you think it's important to have leadership purpose? And if so, why? If not, why not?
I think I always hesitate to tell people what they think what they should do. Even in this body of work that I created, I tell people that Soulfluent Leadership is about consciously choosing, not from a place of should. That being said, I think that...
Well, not should you do it, but is it important? Just
yes.
Yes. Is it important is the question.
Very important. Oh. Yeah. Sorry for my misunderstanding of the question. I think it is very important and that really speaks to, are you willing to be curious, even if you're not fully clear or you're shifting, pivoting, what have you, to ask the maybe uncomfortable questions of, is this really right for me? Do I want to do this? What is off about this? And then really the question of, what does being a leader really mean to me, like for my values, like at my core? And then purpose is, what feels purposeful for me and fulfilling and an integrity for me to do in alignment. And so I think that at the true core of a purposeful leader is the willingness to ask constant questions of oneself that are uncomfortable, but that will allow you to mine the gold of the wisdom that's inside.
I love that. Mine the wisdom of the gold that's inside. That itself is gold nugget right there.
I never said that before.
Well, it's the perfect time to say it now.
There you go. Yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful. Okay, so now we're coming to the end of our time together. Is there anything else you want to share before we let people know how they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, I would say trust yourself. I think that is, sometimes with past failures or trusting gurus or, conflicts with bosses or, failed attempts at something. And it can be easy for us for our self-trust to erode, right? God, I believed in this and it didn't work. Or I did the thing, I had faith and it disappointed, right? Or this person burned me or whatever. I think the question then becomes, are you willing to truly find peace with your past, to learn the lessons and embrace that so that your self-trust becomes an ongoing fire and fuel for your future? Because I truly believe that all leaders, purposeful leaders, must have a strong sense of self-trust in order to be able to not be swayed by all the outside noise and to have that inner compass intact and accessible in a way that they can understand and access it at any moment. So I would say self-trust and to enjoy it and to be willing to carve your own way of doing it, which can, I think, be the hardest part sometimes. Say the thing, do the thing, go against what everyone tells you to do and trust that. That's why the trusting piece is there, because we are the main stewards of the vision, whatever that is.
We are the main stewards of the vision, right? We're the only one that holds it. And so I love that. All right. So now I'm sure people are listening to you and they want to hear more about what you do and how can they get in touch with you to learn about what you're doing.
Absolutely. So priscillastephan.com/quiz if you want to discover your archetype. And there will be an upcoming Soulfluent Leadership Business Guide this summer, which will help you not only identify, if you don't take the online quiz, your archetype, and also show you how to integrate your archetype into every core area of your business. So there's that deep sense of integrity, alignment, and fulfillment.
That's wonderful. Tell us the website one more time.
PriscillaStephan.com, or you can just go to PriscillaStephan.com/quiz. They'll both take you to the quiz and take you to my online home.
That's wonderful. And for those who are listening on the go, Priscilla and Stephan is Stephan. So that's where you can find her. And I'll put it in the show notes for those who
Thank you.
in front of it. Priscilla, this was a wonderful conversation and it was a deep exploration into the self, which I enjoy. And I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy day, because I know you're really busy and you're finishing up your book and doing lots of things. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for welcoming me so kindly. And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Leadership Purpose with Robin podcast. If you enjoyed it, head on over and rate and subscribe so you never miss an episode. New episodes drop every week and I can't wait to hang out with you again soon. Meanwhile, this is Robin signing off. See you next time.